He's a bitter man.
Evening.
Hello, Bushfest 2019!
Ladies and gents, 50 years ago, human beings, that's people like us, slightly less pissed, managed to put a rocket on the moon. Sorry, the moon. 50 years later, look how far we've advanced, folks.
Hi, yeah, Bushfest. Bushfest, so as someone who is new to Birmingham, new to the Birmingham stand-up scene, the Bush gets talked about more than almost any other venue in the city. People, I was here for like 2 weeks, like, oh, you've got to do the Bush, you've got to do the Bush, are you going to do Bushfest, you do this, you do that, you do the other. And having done it once before, there's not really another venue like it, really. So I'm doing the end of the 3 to 5 slot for Bushfest 2019.
Always lovely to be at the Bush, always lovely to be outside of the Bush, always lovely to play anywhere that feels like a church fair meets Lord of the Rings, do you know what I mean? Like, is this where the Tombola winner's gonna go, or is this where we're gonna sacrifice somebody? I mean, like, no clue, zero clue.
I'm back because why wouldn't you be back? You should be back, you should be doing it all the time. There should be more Bushfest.
If you start a sentence with "I'm not racist, but you're an asshole," that brown smelly ring that you call your butt, that's an asshole. When you can buy saucepans in sets of 3 that all stack together beautifully and then put them in the cupboard next to each other, you're an asshole.
Found out about Bushfest via one of the Black Country What's On magazines, and so I made myself over here today from Wolverhampton. I was going to be going to Cosford Food Festival, but I'm rather glad I came here instead for a laugh instead of eating a load of posh nosh.
I'm at Bushfest doing a full show for the first time. I'm taking my first ever full show to Edinburgh in a couple of weeks' time, and it's my warm-up. So yeah, doing it to people that I know and people that don't, and just getting used to doing it an hour because it's a new thing.
I'm having a bit of a tough time at the moment. My wife said to me a little while ago, she said, I think we ought to split up. I said, right, who are we looking for?
I've done the Bush quite a few times. I've never done the Bushfest before, but it's a great venue, a lot of good comics here, and it's got a good vibe about it. It's a good place to gig.
But she didn't mean that. She said, all I did was ask her what she wanted for her birthday, and she said a divorce. I said I wasn't thinking of spending that much.
The Bush is my favourite venue in all the land, and the reason it's my favourite is because I actually feel at home here. Bushfest 2019, yeah. We've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 acts left.
It's the 3rd time we've been here, I think.
It's the 3rd time we've been here.
And today we're emceeing.
All day.
And there's some fantastic acts on again.
Again.
And
Well, there always are fantastic acts on.
I'd like to say well done to Dave for keeping everything together.
Dave is keeping everything together. He's the treacle that holds the crust on the pudding.
Blood, sweat, tears and other bodily functions.
Oh, rough, keep your hands to yourself. You can didgeridoo with somebody else. Make a strange noise with 2 little boys. But rough, keep your hands to yourself. Rough, rough, it has been said. You got a friend that they call Jake the Peg. He sings a song about his middle leg, but we all know it's a euphemism for his penis. Oh, rough, keep your hands to yourself. You can didgeridoo with somebody else. Make a strange noise with two little boys. The rough, keep your hands to yourself.
Oh, Rolf, why do you frown? It's difficult tying a kangaroo down. With your hand in its pouch, I no longer wonder why Aussies all call it going down.
Keep your hands to yourself. You can didgeridoo with somebody else. You can make a strange noise with two little boys. But rough, keep your hands to yourself. Sunrise early in the morning. Sunrise, give the kids a warning.
It went alright. I'm very forgetful, so I forgot a little bit, but you know, I just carried on and pursued. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. My first Bushfest, so it's been fun.
Yeah, I'm really into violence and that. I'm that hard that I once slapped a zebra. Yeah, always separates the room, that bit. But have you ever been to the West Midlands Safari Park?
Yeah.
Have you ever been?
Yeah.
Have you ever paid £10 for that box of food that should be £1? Yeah. Have you ever been harassed by several zebras at once when you put your window down? Yeah. He tried to bite my face. So my natural reaction was to slap the bitch. I thought, don't think you can come for me if you're silly enough to think you can pull off stripes in the middle of winter.
I'm told that women can now have orgasms. Now,
I'm going to show you now that people can be cruel, ladies and gentlemen. People can be cruel. You, mate, what do you call a man with a spade in his head? No, an ambulance. He's got a spade in his head. You see what I mean? Just cruel, isn't it? Yeah?
It's been better than I ever expected it to be. I've done really well. Don't get me wrong, I've put the graft in, you know, I've put the morals in, but you get out what you put in, don't you? And yeah, it's been fantastic, Dave. Loved it.
So we've got to my auntie's house, we've knocked on the door, no answer. Knocked on the window, she's come to the window. Now, true story, my auntie is a heroin addict lesbian prostitute. She only fucks men for money, right? She's opened the curtain like that, she went, well, she's got this white beret on, knee-high white boots, little white miniskirt, false teeth in, 53 years old, rough as fuck. Even I wouldn't, and I get family discount.
I took a 5-year break. I was just doing stuff locally in Leamington, doing a lot of stuff with Dan Smith, but now I'm back in the Black Country. I knew about the Bush, so I'm at the Bush trying to get in there every Thursday, just trying to build up new material, talk about my mum, all that kind of stuff, and yeah, it's good to be back, and just making new friends as well, because it's quite a social thing, so it's good.
One of the most intelligent women in Chinese, in English, bit special. She bought me some jellied sweets the other day. I said, Mum, these are Haribo. She goes, well, don't eat them if you don't like them.
Well, I felt a bit sloppy, to be fair, because I had 5 Strongbow ciders before going on.
There's this bloke in Stoke, Pigeon Man, they call him. Now, rather than do my whole Pigeon Man routine, I was just going to explain to you how I do this routine about the bloke in Stoke by the name of Pigeon Man. But when I wrote it down, the explanation was actually longer than the routine itself. So it wouldn't make any sense, would it? If I'm saving time doing the explanation instead of the actual routine. Especially if you take into account this bit I'm currently doing. Describing how the explanation is longer routine. Well, this bit is even longer. The explanation and routine combined. So it'd be ridiculous to even contemplate such a thing, especially if I'm trying to save time. So I'll just do the actual routine.
It's really good to be doing a set on the 20th of July, anniversary of the moon landing, so I can do all my moon jokes.
50 years since we landed on the moon. We say that, don't we? Like we all went. We don't say that about other things, do we? We don't say, like, it's nearly 20 years now since we flew those planes into the Twin Towers. I can hear Stubbo. Or is it somebody who just sounds like Stubbo?
I'm at Bushfest because I haven't got any other work planned in today. To be honest, it's a bit shit. I was expecting better. I wanted like Kenny Everett or something, but somebody told me he sadly passed away recently. So we're making do with, I think there's Solly O'Sullivan, I think he's on. Who's for a lock-in? There's a few people on, Mr. Badger's on, he's shit. At the moment I think there's the Hollywood Comedy Club, they're doing a 2-hour bit. So it's nice, you know, giving people that aren't very good at comedy, they give them a nice 2-hour slot to just have a go, really. I'm not performing this year. Again, I won't lower myself to this standard, but it is nice turning up and supporting the, you know, the little inbreds that do turn up, and hope it turns into a good night eventually.
I really liked it in prison. I had such a wonderful time. And they got to friends that didn't want it to end, and the bombings were oh so sublime.
I'm not just Now, I was at the Chinese takeaway earlier. And I was standing in the queue, and this bloke behind me tapped me on the shoulder, and he told me a joke. And I don't normally tell other people's jokes, but do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Jung sing sang, yo, dao gao, gao chung, Kolga jai mankoi, baba, le gamya do chindima, yeng yeng china, sap chung, gao chung, yeng. Wah, le janai ho sik do china, sap chung ji hai suyat chung. Lo sak gong, no yati chin do mo yeng, do sak chung. Do hai gao chung yang bo. Oh, perhaps you had to be there.
So it's been a year, pretty much to the date, that I started comedy. So what a great triumph to it for my year to be here at Bushfest, opening up on the last day. So yeah, really excited.
But it's hard to dump someone. You may not believe this, but I've actually dumped people myself in the past. I've been a little heartbreaker before, I've done some damage. I dumped one girl because she was too posh for me. She used to use big words all the time. She used words like perhaps. One time she was like, Eric, perhaps we should just be friends. And when I heard that, I was like, you know what, this isn't going to work. I'm sorry to break your heart, but it's over. You clearly swallowed a dictionary and it's not attractive. Okay.
Well, Glastonbury got Jeremy Corbyn. Bushfest has got Tony Blair!
Talking about the wife, she's told me she's going back to work full time after 12 years of maternity leave.
I'm at the Bushfest because I like to support the bush. I'm a regular on a Thursday. I think it's a brilliant show where lots of people get together, and semi-pros and people who are just starting out come and do 5-10 minutes or whatever, or they do their whips for Edinburgh, and it's a brilliant night and a brilliant weekend, and I love it, and I love coming.
The biggest bush share of the afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Stade!
I hooked up with, I was doing another gig at a place called Stourbridge. I hooked up with a girl named Frances who asked what I was doing on this day, and I was close by and I had nothing to do, so I thought I'd drop in and see what this shit is all about.
This chick's waiting for meat, man. That ain't coming, baby. You gotta move on.
I haven't been back here for a little while because I've started to get like quite a lot of weekend work, but this place, if it wasn't for this place, I wouldn't be where I am now, because this is where I've honed my craft, and well, it's the home of black country comedy, isn't it? So big up Dave Francis and the bush.
I love the bush, I love the atmosphere of it, I love the camaraderie, and I think things like this are really important for you know, up and comers in general, because I think it's a great place to learn your trade, and I think it's a brilliant place to be.
I mean, this place wouldn't be what it is without Dave. And his commitment to arts in general, and I think that really gives all the acts that energy to actually further themselves, I think.
I love the bush. This place has been godsend to me. I love the community. All the comedians support each other. We take the piss out of each other. There's no boundaries on the flavour of comedy. And the regulars, Stubbo, Eggsy, Shelley, everybody's just so nice.
The acts know when they come, we're going to get a nice welcoming audience, and I actually love the place. It's the one place I'm happy to come and get drunk at, and I know it's just like being around family.